It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 241 of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens. We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton, but most importantly,
we hug chickens every day.
And we kiss them too, don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee roaster in Houston, Texas. Bright and early coffee. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Today we're brewing some delicious native pecan.
Oh, yeah, because it's super good. Now, if you're not drinking this native pecan, you are missing out, and you need to check it out. We have a code CWTCL 15 for 15% off a bagged coffee. And if you want K-Cups, go to Amazon. Otherwise, Holly, where should everybody go?
brightandearlycoffee.com.
Are you ready to sip some of this delicious pecan coffee and chat?
I am. But first, a word from our sponsor.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. Okay, so how are you? This is the time of the summer I feel like you officially turned the corner after the 4th of July.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like the nights are starting to get a little cooler already, which is something you usually get at the end of July and into August, but I'm not arguing about it. I just want my runs to dry out because they're like a swamp.
Oh, yeah. All the ladies on our Patreon call the other week were there when I was like, did you see that thunder? Did you hear that thunder? Did you see that lightning? It's been raining, storming for 6 hours here.
Man.
I needed to send a rowboat out to the chickens because they needed it. And I love the weather more when it becomes like late July, early August into August, because I feel like it's not as humid.
Yeah. I was patting myself on the back because you know how much I detest doing anything in this weather. Well, I had planted some sweet potato slips the other day, and I did it in my potato grow bags, and they looked amazing. The slips were happy. They were growing. Everything looked fantastic. And I walked over there late this morning, and I saw that instead of 10 slips, there were only 7.
I'm laughing because I know where this is going.
And
who ate them? Who ate them?
Well, let's just say the grow bags are about 2 feet tall, and they're the perfect height for goosebills. And they didn't just pull a few leaves off. They ate the entire slip. So either I leave it alone and just have 7 sweet potato slips, or I try to get another 3. I don't know. I was like, are you kidding me? But I'm just grateful that they didn't eat all of them.
Yeah, because sweet potatoes are the hot potato right now, because everybody's doing these reels and memes about sweet potato bowls. They look so good. They got me on it now. I'm like, Well,
you know, I barely look at the social media, so I've not seen the sweet potato bowls. But guess what? I love sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
I love them.
Everybody's about sweet potatoes right now, but who wouldn't be? They're great. They're awesome. So, oh, yeah, those little gooses. I don't know if anybody went on social and saw that little man did go back to Tractor Supply. He loved it so much he fell asleep.
You know what to say about that.
He's
like, Mom, shopping is boring.
He loves to go everywhere, but I think it's just his break from his job, and he's just like, oh yeah, he lets the naps fly.
He's like, I'm taking a little ride. Like he was on the cart, right?
Yeah.
He's on the cart. He's taking a ride. It's nice and cool in there. You're looking at boring stuff. It sounds like a good time for a nap.
There's a vent right by the Neutrina aisle, so I kept stopping it, and then his feathers on his head were just
the vent was blowing on his crest.
He was like, I heard Joe told me different people were like, something's going on in the Neutrina aisle.
Well, yes, that's because it was like I know how you do videos. It's a production, so yes. I've been with you when these have happened, so
it's fun.
I don't like the attention. You don't care about the attention. So
the best part is Joe was like, I'm going to the car. He was out of there. He was like, I would not be in here. So a nice lady came by and I was like, could I ask you if you could record me with the cart?
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny.
It was like, oh yeah. She's like, sure. I was like, oh, great.
She went home and she's like, crazy lady had me recording her in the TSC. Crazy lady with rooster on cart, sleeping rooster on cart.
It was great. And on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast and leave us a written review. We want to thank the two people we have 2 new reviews out there. Amazing. Thank you so much. Your kind words really made our day. And we're so happy that you're enjoying the show. It makes everything that we do worth it. While you're there, hit that subscribe button because you never want to miss an episode and they count them.
If you're looking for other ways to help support the podcast, you can tell a few chicken, duck, goose, or turkey loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. A gigantic thank you to all of our patrons, old and new. And the other thing you can do to help support the show is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay! You know what I love when it's 95 degrees outside?
Being inside.
Well, that too, but I really love cleaning my igloo chicken coop.
Yeah, it is so easy to clean. You don't have to break a sweat.
And you can use a water hose or pressure washer, so it doubles as a cool down. I also love those run covers.
Oh man, the shade is superb. I go into the run to cool off.
Yep, my flock's covered during the heat of the day, just chilling.
Meanwhile, we're melting on the patio. Seriously, can we get in on this amazing coop design for ourselves?
They're out there living the dream.
So when it's pushing 100 degrees, the right setup matters.
That's why we choose an igloo.
Get your girls their own just in time for summer.
Search Omelette. That's OMLET.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you like monthly subscriptions?
Does it have anything to do with chickens?
Of course.
Then yeah. Let us take a minute to tell you about Chicken Love.
You get a monthly Chicken Lady tee, treats for your flock, and a keeper care card.
And did you know with every multi-month subscription, you get a free Chicken Love logo t-shirt?
Really?
Yeah.
It's $36 a month with free shipping.
What are you waiting for? Get off the nest and click already. That's chickenlove.com. That's chickenluv.com. Get your subscription today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business, working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards. Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. I need me a cup of coffee. I need me a cup of coffee. I like my coffee creamy and sweet. I like my coffee just like me. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, okay. I like my men like I like my coffee. I like my coffee like I like me. It's something no one ever says until now.
It's time for this.
How do you take your coffee?
Spotlight, creamy and sweet. Yeah,
I like myself. It could be like what? Angry and sweaty?
That's how I've been lately.
That's how I am every day in the summer.
So, if you haven't already guessed, this week's Breed Spotlight is
the Java.
Oh,
remember, for the month of July, we are doing colonial era chickens or early American era chickens. It depends on whether you want us to be before or after independence from the Brits.
Right, exactly.
So, we've got Fiona on this week, so.
You shouldn't have said that.
Fiona loves us Yanks. All right, the Java. The Java is widely reputed to be the second American breed of chicken behind the Dominique. They're called Javas because their foundation stock were likely imported from the Isle of Java or somewhere nearby by sailors and settlers coming to America in the early 1800s.
Wait a minute. They weren't Javas because, they love their coffee.
They were black like their coffee. I mean, if that's what helps you remember them, sure, they can be black like their coffee.
Oh, no. I can remember the Java. I love this chicken any which way. But I would love to think they had a little cup of coffee sipping. That would be great.
Especially the roux.
Maybe they were on a coffee ship.
No. You should have given little man coffee before you went in the TSC. Maybe he would have stayed away.
Maybe he would have. With the ships coming over, they had the chickens, and then they had Holly Ann with her 7.5-pound bag of British wool.
Fine British wool. And who would have had a nice warm dress for winter?
Me.
No. No. Okay. Back to the Java. If you're interested in historical breeds, the Java is an important one. They were such a feature in the daily lives of early Americans through most of the 1800s that they were largely taken for granted.
They were that worker chicken.
Very much so, yeah. They weren't fancy show chickens, so there wasn't a lot written about them. They are beautiful birds, though, especially if you like the American breeds. The American breeds, I feel like in general, tend to be more understated chickens.
Definitely. But they're some of the best.
Some of the best, absolutely. Now, our favorite is the gorgeous mottled Java, and they're just beautiful.
This is what I want everybody to do. I want this chicken to be so popular that people are standing in lines waiting for this chicken.
Well, the reality about the Java is that they are a very important foundation breed and they carry valuable genetics. They provided a strong genetic foundation for the Plymouth Rock, the Rhode Island Red, and the Jersey Giant, among others. That's crucial right there. If you ever have to recreate those breeds.
Those three breeds, between the two of us, we've had all of them and
That's
have
right.
to sell. And they're amazing.
They really are. Now, the Java are also in need of conservation help, as they have been for several years now. The Livestock Conservancy Conservation Priority List has them in the critically endangered category.
That's why I want us to help get them out of this.
They
out of
need
that
help.
hole.
I mean, and they're just like, are they a basic chicken? Yes, but they are the best basic chicken. They're like your best pair of jeans. You know, the ones that are comfy and you've been wearing for years? Java.
Oh, but they're so beautiful.
They are.
Mean, they're basic, but beautiful, baby. And they need to be having some pearls on and carrying a Coach bag, okay?
You know, I don't buy into that whole basic extra stuff because extra can look ridiculous and basic can be elegant. So,
if you're both, you're fabulous.
Fair enough. Javas are considered dual-purpose fowl. The hens are good layers and they make an excellent homestead breed. Now, they were extremely popular here in the mid-Atlantic as they were able to cope with our temperature extremes. They are hardy, they're great foragers, they're good mothers. There's a ton of good stuff you can say about them. They were admitted to the American Poultry Association Standard of Perfection in 1883 in two colors, the black and the black and white mottled. They do come in four colors. However, the white Java and the gorgeous auburn Java were never admitted to the APA.
And if you're going to get your hands on those, you're beyond lucky.
The auburn, I really think the auburn is a stunner. It is a large tawny red chicken. The hens have black spangles and black lacing on their neck feathers, while the roosters are copper and gold and have these gorgeous full black-green tails. I mean, they're just beautiful.
They're gorgeous.
They are. They really are. I mean, and you know, like you always say, a lot of the problem is availability.
That's 100% of the problem.
Can't get your hands on them.
You can't get your hands on them. They would be 100,000,000% in my flock. I love this chicken. Always have.
Mine too. And I do think that this would be one of those breeds that would be a good beginner's breed, like the Jersey Giant. They're just really calm, great chickens.
They're the best. So let's go into what they look like. They are a large breed, of course. Those roosters are coming in at around 9+ pounds. That's a big boy right there.
Absolutely.
Lots of loving.
That's more root a hug.
I said that's a lot of loving. And the hens are coming in at 7 to 8 pounds. That's excellent size. Now, they have a straight comb, moderate size comb and wattles, red earlobes, blue slate legs with a yellow sole. So they're wearing those new trendy shoes that are different colors all around. They're great.
Blue and yellow, they're the opposites on the color wheel.
Yeah. So this is a trait that they passed over to the Jersey Giants. So they are slow growing chickens. It takes them almost a year or so to grow into those deep chest and those long backs. They have an interesting detail on their comb. The first point is above the eye, not the nostril. It's an important detail looking for the breeding stock. Okay.
Yeah.
So
if you're going to breed, you want them to be up to breed standards. So that's something you really should check. If you're just getting them for pets, it's not a big deal.
Exactly. You can love them without that part or not. But, if you're breeding for conservation, you got to have that. So the Livestock Conservancy notes that the comb point trait is one that comes from the pea-combed ancestor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Hens are good layers of large brown eggs, about 160 to 180 per year. Not the best in the laying category, but
I think that's very respectable.
It's respectable.
Especially from a big bird, because the big birds don't tend to lay as many eggs.
Right. And you know what? Chickens all lay a large amount their first year. So if you keep getting chickens, you don't have to worry about how many they lay because you're just going to keep getting new chickens.
That's the biggest chicken lady justification I've ever heard.
It's the best.
Need a good egg supply. Let's get some more babies this year.
Yeah. So they do go broody and will hatch a clutch. Shocker.
But probably pass that to the Jersey Giants too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just a side note here. Francesca, my coaching, not broody today. Woohoo!
Excellent.
Came out this morning, and when I just went out there, she was not in the box.
It's nice and cool this morning. My Langshans, they broke when we put them in the basement during the heat wave. I still have Cupcake the Barnevelder in the box and Queen Elizabeth the Jubilee Orpington. And get this, Cupcake steals all the eggs, right? So poor Elizabeth doesn't have any eggs. She's just in there clucking and puffing and has no eggs to sit on.
She's like, I need eggs, man.
Yeah. She's a sweet broody though, thank God.
So Javas, you know what? They're excellent foragers, and that makes them very good bug patrol.
They have gentle personalities and they make good family birds. They're really good pets. What stands out about this breed to me is that despite the fact that they're a historical breed, it's how well they actually fit into the modern backyard flock or homestead.
It's like time has stood still. Really, time doesn't matter. Whether you're in colonial times for a chicken or modern times, it's still the same life for them they got added amenities. So, but it's good. It's a good chicken.
Nothing about them fits industrial standards for commercial laying or broilers. They don't lay enough eggs to be a commercial layer. They don't grow fast enough to be broiler. Right. But they have all these fantastic traits that are what most of us want.
They're good. I mean, they're good, solid chickens. That's what I think of when I think of these chickens.
They do pretty well in both heat and cold, as we said. But those combs can be, especially on the roos, can be a little on the larger side. They can get frostbite. You want to watch out for that.
And they can tolerate the heat, but they're big. So you want to make sure that you have fans available to them in those coops, especially, and have a good amount of shade. I keep saying it, buy the cheap beach umbrellas. It does work.
Anything that gets them out of the sun. And like you said, they're large-bodied, plus they're black. Even the mottled ones are a black background. They're black chickens. So you really need to give them shade. It's really necessary. Fans, anything else that you would give for any of your big chickens.
Exactly. They're bigums. So they have a lot of mass, but in the winter, you'll be like, yes. Great.
Yep.
Okay, so one of the few downsides to the Javas, as we all know, is they are hard to find. We have to fix this.
Well, I've got a couple places. So first of all, if you're interested in conservation breeding, check out the Livestock Conservancy's breeders directory for breeders near you. But I discovered that Hoover's Hatchery has been working with model Javas.
What?
Yes.
That's new? It's got to be
new. It is new. And they're supposed to have some in later this year. I think they're sold out right now, but they're supposed to have some in later this year. Sandhill Preservation keeps both the black and the model Javas. They sell them as straight run.
Right.
But they're sold out for the year as well. No, not as well. But they're sold out for the year.
Because everybody wants this chicken. You just can't get your hands on them.
I tell you, when I saw them on Hoover's website, I was like, what?
That was the same thing. I was like, what? That's super exciting. Now, if you're one of those lucky people that has the Java out there, We want to see them. Give us a story on IG. That's Instagram. Hit the mention button and then type in our name and it comes right to our messages. And I love resharing your stories. It's so much fun to share your chickens. They're so beautiful and cute.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera US.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today. Hey, backyard chicken lovers! Did you know going corn-free in summer can help your flock stay cool and healthy? Corn creates extra body heat, and when temps rise, that's the last thing your girls need.
That's why we love My Girls chicken treats. They're packed with healthy proteins, vitamins, and absolutely no corn or soy. Just wholesome, crave-worthy ingredients your chickens will go wild for. So skip the corn, beat the heat, and treat your girls like the queens that they are.
Love My Girls treats. Available online or at a retailer near you. Okay, are we ready to move on to main topic? Yeah!
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it's about that time that we go across the pond. We really did. And have coffee
with Fiona.
Yeah.
Totally out of sync. I don't care.
It's okay.
Yeah, worked. And legit, we did go across the pond and we did have coffee with Fiona. It might have been something
But
a little...
we didn't sing the song. And like you said to me a little bit earlier today, I wish we'd sung the song. I really do.
I know. We did have a stiff drink, though, instead of a coffee. And it was great. And,
That's telling tales, Chrissy.
I know. For everyone who's been listening to us, it was one of those, bucket list things that we all meet and be together for a day after working together for almost 5 years on Zoom. It was amazing. And I felt like...
It was fantastic.
It felt like I had been in person with you my whole life. It didn't even feel like that was the first time seeing you. So, that's a true friendship.
We didn't stop talking for the whole day, though, did we? I mean, it's one of those things. We had all these plans of all these wonderful things we're going to do. I mean, I think we said we were going to visit 3 urban farms. How many did we actually go to?
One. But it was the perfect one, though. It really was fantastic.
It was. And we got to meet those Brahmas. I love the Brahmas.
They were really cute. They were
really
gorgeous.
Beautiful. Surrey Docks Farm, they do an amazing job. I mean, hats off to them because they make all that happen in 2 acres.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
I don't know how they fitted it all in. I mean, honestly, the pigs, I could have brought the pigs home. It would have been interesting on the train, but I could have taken the pigs home. No problem at all.
Well, you were running late for the train, of course. We had you running late, but at least you didn't have to carry the bag of wool home on the train.
I would have been happy to. Anybody that's listening, so Holly bought this bag of wool, which we're now going to send across to the US, and I was going to actually take it home, backpack it, put it in a box and send it over. But they gave it to us in a black bin bag. So we're walking around all day with a black bin bag full of wool, which is hilarious.
When it comes to good wool, I have no pride. I happily
watch tramps. I mean, we looked like tramps.
We were getting some seriously weird looks through Greenwich.
I just looked like a straight up homeless person carrying all of her earthly belongings in a trash bag.
Well, guess what? I'd be a warm homeless person, wouldn't I? Because I had 7.5 pounds of fine British wool in that bag.
I shouldn't have taken it home on the train, though. That would have been hilarious because the train was crowded.
It was a full fleece. So we do have some wool people listening, some sheep people, but it was a full fleece, which is rather voluminous.
And it's beautiful.
It would have needed its own seat on the train.
Well, on the Uber boat, you did buy its own seat, the wool. You did pay 3 times to ride that boat. So,
and that wool had its own seat, and it got some looks too, and that's okay.
I said everybody's going to think you got a bomb in the bag.
You see, it would have had its own seat on the crowded train because everyone would have thought either I was a bag lady or I had a bomb. It wouldn't have been a problem.
It was crazy.
You also could have opened it up so that the smell of pure lanolin
I know.
That bag of wool also went to lunch with us in the nice restaurant that we went to.
We hid it under the table. That was
that was the Gypsy Moth pub. That was lovely. Yes.
Oh, the food was amazing, wasn't it?
That was fantastic.
It was lovely. Yeah.
It was.
It was such a great day.
It was an amazing day. Now, what we're talking about today is, I want to say it's something a little controversial. So when you pick your birds or when you pick your breeds, etc., do you want a broody, yes or no?
No.
Yes.
But I have lots of broody chickens because those are the breeds for some reason I'm drawn to.
Yeah, same.
So,
yeah, but it's the traditional breeds, isn't it? You want the traditional ones. You don't want the high egg producing ones that have been specially genetically modified.
Right.
You don't want a GMO chicken, for goodness sake.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, we are all about those heritage breeds, and the broodiness does seem to come along with them. Now, here's the problem we're running into right now. And you might have some of this, Fiona. I don't know, because you guys you're getting hotter weather than you ever used to.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Hot,
Global warming, man.
For us, the big fluffy ones are the ones we love. But like right now, it was 100 degrees yesterday, and I've got a Jubilee Orpington in the box, and that is far from ideal.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you running into any of that, or is it still cool enough on average that you're okay?
No, I mean, we had temperatures of 35 degrees last week. I mean, it's cooler now. It's about 25. So that's about 75 Fahrenheit, is it?
Yeah.
35, it was getting an awful lot hotter. And we've got broody hens sat in their coops. But we deliberately put all the coops in the shade. So they're out in the orchard, so they're always under the shade of a tree, or we put something up artificial, lots and lots of ventilation, lots and lots. We make sure that water is within reach of where they're choosing to nest in the coop. Now, actually, because our chickens are so big, they choose to sit in the middle of the main area. So we take the perches out and they choose to sit in the middle of the main area. And we actually utilize the nest boxes for food and water. So they've always got water they can access. And we just keep adding ice cubes. And, when it got to 35, I added a tiny little enclosed fan into the coop as well. There's only Spring who hated it. Spring ran away and thought it was trying to kill her. Other than that, honestly, I don't know what's up with that chicken. I love the others to bits. They are happy for me to pick them up. They're happy for me to stroke them. They're happy for me to play with their chicks. No issues at all. Go and see Spring. Behaves like I'm trying to kill her. Honestly. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, man.
Now, I'm looking at, so 35 Celsius is 95 Fahrenheit. That's really hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the UK still gets cooler at night than we do over here.
Yeah, it does. I think so. We're kind of on average about 15 degrees Celsius, which is...
Yeah.
I have to say, though, last month while we were there, it got to like 80 some degrees and everybody just had on like jeans and a shirt in London. And then it went down to like between 65 and 70. And people were wearing scarves and trench coats. I'm like, it's 65. We don't need this right now.
Are you sure they were the Londoners and not the tourists?
No, I don't know.
That's
I don't
actually
remember
a good
wearing
question.
a scarf. I put a jacket on. That was as far as I went.
That was one of the coolest days, and we had to wear a rain jacket. But no, scarves and trench coats. I think
it was commuters, because we found this really cute little donut shop that was like steps away from the flat where we were staying. So we would pop out in the morning to get coffee and watch the commuters go by. There was some heavy gear in the morning.
And the one day I decide I'm going to wear a baby blue sweatshirt and the baby blue matching shorts, I stuck out like a sore thumb. Like you could see me coming 5 miles away.
Chris, you're in London. You're not in a resort in Palm Springs, for God's sake. I told her this. She was going to bring flip-flops just to pop out for coffee. I said, no.
Flip-flops in London?
Yes.
Wow.
See, Fiona's face is exactly what mine looked like.
I did wear my Dr. Scholl's, though. My sandals.
That's fine. Okay, we're going back to Broody Hens now.
Let's go back to Broody Hens.
So, very quickly, because we want to talk more about hatching with them, the pros and cons of that, but quickly, your best advice for breaking a broody, and this is with the understanding that we really can't control their hormones and they can become broody again once they've broken.
Yeah. So it depends whether you want to do it fast or slow. I mean, the best way is, there's lots of people who say don't let them sit, but actually the most natural thing to do is just let them sit and get on with it. But if they start to lose weight, and this is the thing, always, always, always stick your hand underneath and check their body condition. You want those breast muscles, you want to be able to feel the keel bone, and you want those breast muscles convex. I'm having one of those moments. So you don't want, as soon as they start to flatten out or go concave, you've got a problem. You absolutely must break them then. But otherwise, just let them sit, because it's a natural thing if you can, if the weather conditions allow you for. But if you want to do them quickly, get an old dog crate, stick it on a couple of bricks, and then put them inside with some food and water. Don't put a floor on it, because what you're trying to do is get cool air circulating around their breast muscles. That's the quickest way to do it. I prefer a slower way, which is give them some false eggs. Give them golf balls if you want to. That will work. Something that they can feel underneath them. Don't have them with the other hens, because it only works if other hens can't access the nest box. After 7 to 10 days, take them away, and within 2 to 3 days, they will actually break, because it mimics a predator coming in, stealing all their eggs and just running away and taking all the eggs away. So it should naturally break them. But if other hens are laying and adding eggs to the nest, it doesn't work. Never works.
Because they will gather those eggs.
Yeah, they will.
From substantially far areas. They will gather those eggs.
I don't know how they do it sometimes. Get it from some really bizarre places.
Yeah.
I do want to just put this note out there. Please don't do this method. Don't dunk chickens in water, ice water. Please do not. This can be really, really harmful to the chickens. There are, if you want to cool them down, an ice pack with a towel wrapped around it could be okay, but never dunk those chickens in a bucket of water or anything, because that is very harmful. That can make them sick. It can put their body into shock. So please, that's one thing don't do. Just don't even do it. You'll hear people saying do it, but it's not going to work.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, it's almost like people seem to think it will work because all of these ice plunge pools that people do now. But chickens are different. Chickens aren't human. Chickens are a lot more sensitive. And as you say, it will send them into shock. Poor things.
Yeah, definitely.
And if it's
I've
hot
heard
weather,
it a lot recently.
If it's hot weather, like they steam. I mean, all that moisture is trapped under their feathers. It's a terrible thing to do.
You do want to cool them down. So if you feel like you want to, I feel like an ice pack with a towel wrapped around it, that put under them is a nice, safe way to cool them down.
Ways to bring down their body temperature.
Right.
There's our broodies when you have broodies and you don't want them to be broody. Now, when you do have a job for your broody hen, like there's nothing better on the earth.
It's lovely. I love these little chicks. I love chasing them around. I love sitting. I mean, they run to me because the way that we have, bred them over a number of years, we've always kept the calmest, we've always kept the friendliest, and it's worked. So now apart from Spring, I'll keep bringing Spring up because she's just crazy. It's a while since we've had a chicken like this. All the others come to me, but having the chicks running around, and they're so fun, and seeing them get all the different ages, getting along together, is just so adorable. And
so you've been working on your breeding program for well over a decade now, right?
Oh, yeah. Well over 10 years. And we've just every single year we keep the calmest. So we want breed conformity. We want size. We want them to be a bit larger, but we want them to be friendly and docile. If they've got any sign of nastiness or being a bit pecky or being overly dominant, we won't keep them. And they're wonderful pets for other people. I mean, we had two very dominant hens, but they were sidekicks of each other. And they've gone to a lovely local lady. That was last year's lot. And they adore her. And she adores them.
I wish I could have some of your Orpingtons so much. Like, I see all of them.
We just have to come back over and then you'll have to sneak one in your baggage.
I'm like, Auntie Chrissy wants to take you home. Auntie Chrissy.
Oh, there's Brahmas at Surrey Docks Farm almost made me lose my mind. They're just
they were so adorable, weren't they? The gold lace.
It was so hard to be in the UK with all of those amazing breeds and knowing we don't have anything like them at home. That was tough.
That was tough.
You've got Brahma. I mean, you don't have the same kind of Orpingtons, but you've got those Brahmas, haven't you? You've got still kind of
not the coloring.
We don't have the lavender pencil Brahmas, and we don't have those
lemon
cuckoo Brahmas.
Yeah.
Or were they lemon partridge? What were they?
I think there was a partridge.
She said there were lemon partridge, but I think they're gold lace.
Gold. Okay. God, they were gorgeous. But so that aside, because that's going to take us down a whole other road. So
we do this a lot, don't we?
We do. What we have is we get a lot of questions about broody, and it's about the basics of broodies, generally from people who haven't hatched before. Yeah. So if you can take us quickly through. So some of the things people are wondering about is if we're going, should I move her if she's in with the rest of the flock? I'll do them one at a time. If your broody's in with the rest of the flock and she has settled down and it looks like she's going to sit, do you move her?
Yes. And the reason for that is that it causes complications if you don't. You've got the complication of all the other hens laying in the same area. She might steal the eggs. So you're going to have to mark all of the fertilized eggs. Now, even then, if she's gathering other people's eggs, she might be pushing viable ones out of the nest to take unviable eggs in, because she may have been sat for 10 days already, got 11 days to go, and takes in a new egg, which is going to need 21 days of incubation. Math just doesn't work. The other thing is that you don't know how Broody hens, when they hatch and they've got chicks, can be very, very defensive of the chicks, and it can cause all sorts of mayhem. It'll be generally the Broody hen will be aggressive rather than the other hens, because the other hens will just be kind of curious normally, and there's no guarantee of that because every breed is different, every hen is different, so you can get some aggression. It just solves the problem if you can move her. Now, sometimes when you move her, she may decide, no, I'm not going to do this. I want to move. I want to go back to where I was. But if you move her, just pick her up at night when she's starting to roost, put her in a new place with the door shut, with food and water, and basically leave her in there. If you can put a coop cam in, all the better, so you can watch how she's behaving. If she starts pacing around the following morning, she's not going to adopt it. Just give up and go home. Otherwise, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, open the door, let her out so she can evacuate the bowels and get some more food, even though there's food and water in the coop. And you should be good to go. But put a run on to keep the other hens out, and that'll work brilliantly.
This sounds like a good idea.
You really need her to come out once a day to poop, because otherwise that's a real danger with broody hens. If they don't come off the nest, they don't poop because they won't evacuate the bowels on the nest. And if they don't come out for 2 days, can you think what that is going to be like in their bodies? It's just not good. So with a run on the coop, if there's poop in the run, you know she's been out. And if you clear it every day, you'll know the next day whether she's been out again. So that's just the routine. Look for the poop. If she hasn't pooped, lift her out, shut the door until she has pooped, open the door, let her back in. And if she has pooped, just clear it.
Yeah. It's kind of like having a bird up in the medical tent on poop watch. Just what's going on. Yeah. So let's say she breaks. How long do you have to get those eggs to an incubator if you want to continue to try to hatch them?
It depends on the outside temperature. So if we're talking about now when it's warm, you've probably got a little bit longer, but on average, if you think about it, your hen's going to come off the eggs for about an hour each day on average to go evacuate the bowels, eat and drink. So that's essentially how long you've got. And actually what you find is if you've got an autumn broody, when the temperatures are going cooler, the broody will come off the nest for far less time. So they might be off for 15 minutes instead of an hour. But if the temperatures are really hot, like you've got at the moment, really high temperatures, they could be off the nest for 2 hours quite safely without affecting the incubation of the eggs.
That's what I wanted to bring up is if you're going to hatch with broody hens, it's always good to have a backup incubator, correct? So that if anything
and
goes wrong, you need an incubator just as a backup.
Oh, yeah, because you definitely need it on hatch day because there's always going to be one which the broody hen has decided, right, my chick has hatched. My first one hatched about 14 hours ago. So I'm going to go out, take all the others out for food and water. It could be 24 hours later. It could be 36 hours later. But she could have one final egg still trying to get out and it'll still be viable. So it's worth having an incubator and a brooder ready so that chick's got time to recover before you reintroduce it. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead, aren't I?
No, you're perfect. Okay. You're perfect.
Yeah.
Another question we get is, when can you let the broody hen and her chicks back around the rest of the flock?
We do it within 24 to 48 hours after hatch, which shocks a lot of people. I actually had a woman on Facebook really berate me in really a very, very nasty way about 3 weeks ago, saying I was an appalling person, that I shouldn't be letting the chicks out with the flock for at least 4 weeks. They should be kept in a small area because they shouldn't be flapping their wings or jumping or flying because they're far too delicate. So they had to be in a confined space for 4 weeks. And I thought, and this was on a video I published of chicks who were 3 weeks old, flying really high, having fun, running all over our orchard. I just couldn't believe what I was reading.
Well, I think people need to understand that you are a breeder. You know what you're doing with how you're doing it. And you've been doing it for over 10 years and it's worked for you. So
yeah. I mean, we've been doing it actually for nearly 15 years now, breeding in this way. And it works because we've got a docile, friendly breed, it has to be said. And we've also got a very, very large space for them to be in because the broody hen kind of takes, I use this analogy a lot, but if you think of the solar system, so when the broody hen comes out with the chick, she kind of navigates like Pluto around the outside. And gradually she comes in until she becomes Mercury right near the flock as the sun. And that's about 4 weeks. I mean, we've now got autumn and winter. Both have got their chicks, which are 4 weeks and 4.5 weeks. And they're actually mingling the whole time with the puffinettes, Puffin's lot, who are 9 weeks old, and Puffin's gone back to the main coop and abandoned them, which is natural, perfectly normal. Don't panic anyone when I say abandon them. That's not a bad thing. It's what the hen actually does with the chicks. It's a natural process. And they all get on together. The adults have never shown any interest in being nasty to the chicks. The worst it's been is mild curiosity. You have to have a docile breed, and I would recommend lots of space. Other than that, and we don't take it for granted, we always watch them very closely. So the first 2 days when they're allowed out from the run, and what we're looking for is we want to make sure the chicks can keep up with mum. That's all we're looking for. As soon as we're comfortable that they've recovered from fighting their way out the egg and they can keep up with mum, the run is taken away and they're out with roaming with the flock during the day.
Which is great. So would it be safe to say, like, let's say you have a mixed flock and you maybe have some hens you don't trust with babies or cockerels, things like that, or you don't have enough space. Would it be safe to say if you don't have the ideal conditions, it would be safer to keep them away from the rest of the flock for a little longer?
I would keep them away until they're adults. If you felt it was unsafe, it wouldn't be a case of leaving them till they're 4 weeks old or 6 weeks old or 8 weeks old. I just wouldn't let them out
at that
until
point,
they were old enough, really almost verging on adulthood.
So if you don't have a setup where it would be safe to let them out with the broody hen, you should probably then treat it like an integration.
Absolutely.
Where you're looking at 16 weeks and then it's safe to let everyone back together. Yeah. So I think that's really good to have clear.
Yeah, but you mentioned there about cockles. every single year when we've released the first couple of clutches into the flock, we've always still had the cockerel. And that's because the breeding cockerel, once he's done his job and we've got lots of hens sat on eggs, the current year's breeding cockerel leaves us, and he's always sold as a proven breeding cockerel of good fertility. And actually there's quite a demand for that when you can prove that they're really good and they're docile and they're friendly. They've never shown any issues with the chicks. In fact, if anything, they have kind of kept the hens who are a little bit over-curious away from the chicks. Hercules this year was just phenomenal. You should have seen him. He was almost like herding, particularly the two Morans were very curious. They weren't trying to attack. It was nothing other than, I don't know what this is. What is this thing running around my feet? Which is bizarre because they saw them all last year. But anyway, that's how they were behaving. And Hercules was just kind of herding them away, kind of gently. It was lovely.
Oh,
He's a good boy.
Have you sold him yet?
He's gone. Yeah, he's done his job.
Was stunning. What a beautiful boy.
And so fertile. 100% hatch rate. We've never had that. 100% fertile, 100% hatch rate. And we've never had that before. It's unheard of.
Well, I guess as we finish up, we don't have anywhere near enough time to talk about the subject. But I guess...
Go on, you can. It's just
Our editor would kill us.
Oh, yeah. I think that let's say if you have someone who's thinking about hatching with a broody, which I've done, and it is amazing. It is so easy and so wonderful. But let's say someone wants to hatch. We, of course, would warn them, you want to have a rooster plan. You want to have a plan for cockerels because you will get them. But that aside, what's your best advice for someone who wants to take the plunge with a broody?
Have a separate space for them where they can get away and feel safe. So give them a separate coop. That's the biggest thing I would say. Give them a separate coop.
And have it in the shade, right? So that they can have good...
Oh, yeah. Coming up to the
weather.
summer, absolutely. You've got to have... I mean, I would say that for any coop anyway, but bearing in mind the broody hens inside the coop for 21 days, it's essential those broody coops are always in the shade.
How often do you candle eggs? I snuck another one in. How often do you candle eggs?
Yeah!
7 days and 14.
7 to 14. Very good. Okay.
We sneakily candle the eggs, so we wait for the broody hen to come off for her daily constitutional, and then we take the eggs away. But sometimes what we do is, particularly if it's a brand new broody, is we run an incubator alongside. So if we've got, say, 15 eggs, because we've got big hens, we'll give her 3, maybe 6, and the rest will run in an incubator alongside, just so that that covers us for any issues, and it's a bit more reliable in terms of turning, just for brand new broodies.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Just before we let Fiona go, I just want to put out there to all of our listeners, we want to know what you would like to hear the three of us roundtable about. Send your suggestions via email or send them direct message on Instagram. What are some topics that you would love to hear from the three of us talking about? Because we
got up to in London. There you go. I just throw that in.
Yes. So just send them over so that you give us some ideas for roundtables. And welcome back, Fiona. It's been a little while since you've been on, but you've been super busy. But hopefully we're going to get back to once a month here. And so send in your suggestions. We would love to hear them.
I've missed you all, I have to say. I mean, it was just so lovely to see you in London, but I've so missed having these chats. I mean, I can't believe how much we talked in London.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun. We did not want that day to end. Yeah.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that pesky train and it needed to get run over by the cyclist who shouted at me.
Oh, yeah.
I got shouted at by a cyclist too.
Multiple times.
Anyway,
on that note, thank you for coming on this month. We can't wait until next month. Send us those ideas, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. We just want to thank Fiona one more time for a great conversation. You all have had a lot of broody questions lately, so hopefully that answers some of them.
A lot. She's our British bestie.
She is. Our friends at Good Eggs solved the age-old question of how should I wash my eggs?
They're chicken people just like us who created the original silicone egg scrubber.
Both Chrissy and I use their brush and natural enzyme wash every time.
It's a total game changer.
It makes cleaning eggs so much faster and easier. Plus, they have a lifetime guarantee.
Good Egg is a small family business right here in the US, and they donate 10% of all profit directly to folks affected by cancer.
Go check them out at goodeggstuff.co.
That's goodeggstuff.co. Tell them Chrisie&Holly sent you. Okay, so let's move on to
Cracking the eggs.
cracking those eggs. Now, it's July. We want to cool down and we want to use those eggs for something fun.
Ice cream. And not just ice cream. One of my all-time favorite fruit flavors, Mango Custard Ice Cream.
So I always say this when we do an ice cream recipe, but Coors is a custard, not just an ice cream, down in Ocean City, Maryland.
Right.
So every time we go down, a lot of people are like, did you go to Dumpsters? And I'm like, oh no,
Nope.
I'm a Coors girl because it's custard. It's so
proper custard ice cream.
It's so good.
I think, so I tested this one with chicken egg yolks because that's what most people are using, but I think I'm going to make it again and I'm going to do it with goose egg yolks and see if there's a big difference.
I bet you with ducks, the richness is going to be through the roof. Ducking.
Oh, I'm sure. Speaking of which, my little darlings are growing like weeds.
I hear you talking to them every morning.
That little magpie, Zinnia, she's a little chatter. And she's already getting the freckles on her bill. She already has a spotted bill.
Nice.
Yeah. Cuties. I love them.
Magpies are my favorites.
I know. Guess what? There's one in my brooder.
Don't rub it in, girl.
Okay. Mango ice cream.
Let's go through the ingredients because, hey, I'm the girl on social media all the time. And let me tell you, making your own ice cream is on trend. So we want to give you a recipe right now that you can use. That's easy.
Good.
Use those eggs.
I got to be the contrarian for a second. Do not feel bad about yourself if you do not have time to make ice cream. Buy the ice cream and enjoy it.
Exactly. But if you want to be on trend and you're like, oh, I can't find a great recipe or an easy one, check us out. Okay. So we're going to do 2 cups of mangoes, blended or processed into a puree. And you can use 4 or 5 fresh mangoes or frozen or canned. This is where you can save time. You don't have to have the fresh, but the fresh are good too.
The frozen mango chunks are fantastic.
They're picked fresh and flash frozen. Yep. So they're the same. A half a cup of whole milk or thick dairy-free creamer. 2 cups of heavy cream or dairy-free heavy cream. 5 large egg yolks and 3/4 cup of sugar. That's all you're going to need.
Now, the day before, don't be like me and forget until the last minute. The day before you want to make your ice cream, or the night before, place your ice cream maker's freezer bowl in your freezer.
I always forget to do that too. And I'm like, oh.
Yes, it's really frustrating. You can make the custard the day before too. I usually do just to keep myself sane.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll give it plenty of time to chill before you make the ice cream the next day.
Yeah.
Plus, if you're making this for a party or entertaining, it's just one fewer thing you have to do on the day.
Exactly.
In a saucepan, you're going to add the milk and cream and half a cup of the sugar over medium to low heat. You're going to cook just until the sugar is melted and the mixture is simmering. Do not let this come to a boil. That does bad things.
Milk and cream to a boil, very bad.
No. Right. So then once it's simmering and the sugar is melted, remove from heat and set aside. In a small or medium mixing bowl, you're going to add those 5 egg yolks and the remaining 1/4 cup of sugar. Whisk them together until they're thickened and pale in color. Now you want to temper your eggs. You're going to grab that egg mixture and you're going to slowly add about a cup of the warm cream to the egg mixture. You're going to pour it in slowly. You're going to whisk constantly. What this does is keeps the eggs from cooking if you put them right into the heated cream.
Exactly.
Pour the tempered egg mixture into the saucepan with the remaining cream mixture, and you're going to cook this over low heat, stirring constantly. Cook it until it has thickened and it coats the back of a wooden spoon or spatula. Like it should be coated and you can run a finger through it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, do not let this custard boil. Once you're at that thickened stage, take it off the heat. You want to generally, I don't always do this because I'm lazy, but proper cooks pour the custard into a glass bowl, put saran wrap on it, and put it in the fridge.
Right.
I let it cool, put some aluminum foil on there and stick that sucker in the fridge in the pot. That's just me. If your egg's cooked at all, like if you have eggy bits in there, you can pour it through a sieve.
Right. And
or
just
a
get it out.
strainer and get those little bits out. And again, cover and refrigerate for a minimum of 3 to 4 hours or overnight. Once your custard is sufficiently chilled, you're going to take that mango puree and whisk it right in there. Pour it into your ice cream machine and then churn and freeze according to the ice cream maker's instructions.
Exactly.
When it's finished, you can eat it right away if you want, but it has a better consistency if you put it in a freezer-safe container and freeze it for like another 4 hours.
My ice cream maker, it's so cool. It comes with like this galvanized ice cream container for the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a pop-off lid. So it's like, you always feel a little more like, yeah.
A little fancier when you're making your ice cream.
Yeah.
Fancy.
It's fancy. And then you're like, let me go get the ice cream in the galvanized container because I handmade it. So
yeah, mine often just ends up in the ice cream freezing container with some more aluminum foil on the top of it.
Sometimes I have to eat a little bit. It's self-serve at first.
That's right. You got to taste it. You got to make sure it's okay.
I'm like, oh, this is good. Let's not freeze it. Let's just have a milkshake. Okay, try it. You might like it. You might like it. You're gonna love it. And let us know what you think. Okay, so let's move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy is kind of going to be short and sweet. We're going to talk about some sunshades and blinds because for those chicken runs, it can really help you and your chickens.
Right.
Right now, when I go out, I say this is the part of the summer where it's like the 5 shower day because every time I go out, I get dirty and I sweat through my clothes every single time. And believe me, I'm out there a lot right now.
But today is kind of cool. I'm really happy. Today is not as bad as it's been. There's a delightful breeze and it's cool in the shade.
It's nice today.
But it's not going to stay this way. So we need blinds and shades on the runs.
So I did put a story up a while ago, a few weeks ago. I got like a bamboo kind of shade on the front of part of my run, and I'm going to be getting more. Because that, and I'm telling you, it really works. The one thing that you can tell if the shade is working is if in those spots you put a bowl of water, test the temperature in the water.
Yeah.
If the water stays cool, it's keeping it cool enough for the chickens.
Yep.
If your water's hot and you might have it positioned a little wrong or whatever, but don't be afraid to go into Home Depot, measure your spot on the run, and it has 2 little brackets. You can put it right on the outside.
Yeah.
And mine's a hand crank, so I don't have to worry about long strings and any chickens getting into something.
Right.
So it works. And actually right now, you're not cranking it up and down. You're just keeping it down.
Yeah, it could just stay where it is.
And the shade sales are on Amazon. You can get them priced anywhere from $15 to $100 plus. But the shade sales work too. And they're great hammocks for your chickens. They love it.
Yes.
Basil. So it's short and sweet, but don't be afraid to go out and get these things because your chickens are going to love you for it.
Mm-hmm.
Home Depot, Amazon, Lowe's, Walmart.com. No fancy place. Just get the shades. They'll love it. I think that's all we got to say for retail therapy, right?
That sounds good. Yeah.
That sounds good. Okay. Tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week.
Next week, we are spotlighting, a very important breed, the Sussex.
And those speckles.
Main topic, we're taking a closer look at the chicken eye. This is fascinating. This was just so much fun research. Get your eye out of the camera. Cracking the eggs. Cracking the eggs. We're doing brownie bites with raspberry cream and ganache topping.
Bring them over today. Come on.
A little country, a little city. I don't know. And retail therapy. We did this a couple years ago and we thought it was time for a revisit. We're doing chicken bathing suits. And we don't need bathing suits for your chickens.
We need some new chicken bathing suits.
Yeah.
Okay. So what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens, ducks, geese, and turkeys.
Every day and kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. Thanks for listening.